Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I ask for your indulgence regarding my accent. Thank you for your kind hospitality, especially President Meric and his team. It is an honor for us to have reached this level of selection towards the award of the Urbanism Academy. The short film you have seen shows you some of the most exceptional scenic views of Marseille, and I can assure you that the film has been done without any artifacts. Marseille is really magnificent. Laurent Meric is about to develop the urban history of our town, how she was built, challenges, strong points, which make her unique, which very rich past, a dynamic present, and a promising future. But first, I wish to focus on Marseille Provence European Capital of Culture 2013, as with less than 100 days to the closing date of this exceptional event, we can give you a few significant numbers. For example, we organized 5 main events. Okay, thank you for the slide. Total numbers of attendees to these main events, 1,620,000. Attendees of the opening weekend in January 2013. In one weekend only, 600,000 people. Total attendees to the main events and cultural places since the opening weekend, 6,340,000 visitors. Attendees to the Museum of the European and Mediterranean Civilization, 1 million since the opening in June. Hotel occupation between May and July 2013, 1.9 million. This is the end for the numbers. Marseille has also set up a pavilion named M for Marseille, totally dedicated to Marseille Provence Capital. M offers a varied and dynamic weekly program and exhibits all the regional know-how, but also our values. To date, M has received more than 1 million visitors, more than the 860,000 people of inner town. We feel privileged and extremely proud to share our culture with the rest of the world, as people from Marseille are often critical about their own town. This year's success is a real recognition. When the New York Times publishes numerous glowing articles of our town, we receive it proudly as a deep acknowledgement of our know-how. You see, Marseille culture is intimately attached to that of the Mediterranean area, which adds to its diversity. It does not stop at the geographic borders, as Marseille managed to embrace the cultures of those who came to stay, to build or rebuild their lives. I was born in Marseille. I built my private and professional life there. And for as far as I can remember, I always felt I had to defend my hometown, as if I had to justify that my city is beautiful, rich, tolerant, and that it truly deserved its position as the second town in France. We have had to wait until some major events, such as the Football World Cup in 1998, were entrusted to us, or more recently Marseille Provence Capital, to shine and prove that we can receive the world with much professionalism and creativity. This has been a real booster for us. I suspect that Glasgow or Liverpool have experienced the same thrill, as well as Kozice, European Capital 2 for this year. They will understand our motivation. We are grateful to Mrs. Melina Mercury, who in 1985 had the bright and generous idea to nominate 2 towns as European Capital in order to contribute to the European people becoming closer. The introduction clip is signed Marseille right now, and I would like to add in conclusion Marseille to be continued, because believe us, we will continue to shine through 2014 and beyond. Now we want to invite you all come and enjoy the sunshine that is also part of our fame. You are all welcome, and thank you for your attention.
And it appears today that French people can also speak English. Okay. I apologize because I have to write my intervention. First of all, of course, we are very proud to be there in London today in competition with Malmö and Istanbul. But first, I wish to thank the Academy of Urbanism to have considered Marseille for her urban interest. In France, Marseille has always been known for the football team, the pastis from St. Drink, the columns in the newspapers, and she had a bad name. She grew when she gave France a national anthem, La Marseillaise, but except for the urbanism, in the professional world, she gets the cold smiles and the defiance meant to the people from the south. Therefore, on behalf of all those who work daily for the urban development of Marseille, thank you for this kind of recognition. As Gaëlle told you, it is true that in the past year Marseille has changed her look and shows now a greater visibility to the world. This is not a plastic surgery. This is new urban and cultural face in the expression of a deep work to renew and intensify Marseille's urban fabric. So a few words first to introduce the urban situation of Marseille. Marseille is a small town in the south of France. Marseille is also a huge natural and urban territory located by the sea. Second town in France by its population, Marseille is quite a vast territory as a French town, without any common measure with London, of course, or Istanbul. The average density is low, but not equally spread. With its 24,000 hectares, Marseille's territory is more than twice larger than that of Paris. Marseille's geography and its landscape, so diversified, made of valley, surrounded by hills reaching up to 600 meters, and so many seafronts, from west to south, over more than 50 kilometers. You can also find desert islands and abrupt cliffs. As you now see, Marseille has a huge natural heritage. The massifs of the Nert, of l'Étoile, of Carpiagne, and of the cliffs make up the basis of a prestigious maritime scenery and offers magnificent views of the harbor. Still, they need constant protection and specific management. Les Calanques, you can say the cliffs or rocky inlet area, but it is much more than that. They are famous throughout the world and welcome many visitors. Therefore, becoming classified as a national park area with over 8,500 hectares in the very center of a urban metropolis, which had never happened before in France. A few words about historical evolution. This vast territory, which for a long time remained independent, more open toward the Mediterranean seas than France and Europe, living on its own hinterland, in self-sufficiency, developing its own economy with the rest of the world. Founded by Greek merchants 6th century before Christ, Marseille is considered as the oldest city in France. From the Greek times up to the 17th century, the town and an institution, temples and assemblies then convents and trade first set place near the Lacidon, a natural cliff deep in the harbor. But it's only in the 19th and 20th century that the town will expand beyond the main wall and will develop as a network with numerous farmer, workers and residential village up to the foot of the hills. To understand Marseille, you have to understand two main stages which change the urban landscape evolution. First of all, in the 19th century, golden age for trade and the industry, as in London, Barcelona, Glasgow, or Hamburg, the town acquired heavy infrastructure and an impressive technological explosion. The development of harbor reception with a strong seawall doubling the coast north of the harbor and a mooring for the industrial development. The water conveyance became necessary due to a massive increase in the population, thanks to dramatic works challenging the local geography, tunnels, aqueducts, canals. The arrival of the train to the center of the town, up to the departure quay, and the technological challenges imposed by such a complex topography. At the same time, the town goes through a property expansion never seen before, and in the process renews nearly totally its residential park from the Push mansion to the city buildings and the workers' area, sometimes including drastic demolitions. The other important stage began in the 60s. It is through decolonization that the city discovered a new strong demographic growth. New housing forms appeared with a modern comfort and construction using reinforced concrete and lifts. Tens of thousands of flats have been built very quickly, especially on what remained of the countryside. With the after-war modernity also come the motorways which reach deep inside in the city. It is a time of large residential areas and buildings, high-rise blocks, a model for urban ideal which soon became obsolete and depreciated. So that's the context of our urban reflection. This was quick sketch of our intervention context, but now let's have a look on the vectors of the works undertaken in the past 15 years. First, there is a development on the main communication road on the north and on the east. You can see, because of the geography, you can have a communication road on the south of the city, surrounded by hills. Only two ways to enter and go outside Marseille on the north and on the east. That's why it's often said that Marseille is divided in north and south. Another priority is to enhance the coastline and our exceptional natural heritage. We also continued with the road network to help with the exchange through this complex territory and geographic challenge. We have to fight. Yes, thank you. 5 minutes. I'm the last to speak. This strategy includes the land use plan, our master plan, which has just been approved and the basis of which have first been discussed with the town council to keep our ambitious development objectives while still preserving our quality of life and of the vicinity services. Si je parle trop vite, après personne ne comprendra. The Urbanist Master Plan wants to adapt those challenges to the diversity of Marseille's urban structure and ensure an increased protection of our heritage, both natural and landscape. Please allow me to mention some of the numerous projects set up towards this strategy. I want to start with the historical center, which has been subject of several requalification operations. The dramatic transformation of the open space about the viewport is symbolic. At the same time, the city continues with its efforts to rehabilitate an urban context that had suffered a lot from the past adventures. This is why the operation Grand Centre-Ville aims at a global treatment of entire building using various processes. The long-lasting restoration must include the standardization, the compliance of existing accommodation, and the upgrading of ground floor commerces and local facilities. The blocks to be treated are selected as a momentum for the city center, which expanded significantly in the past few years. This is a long-term operation for which the public services had to mobilize their social, legal experience. We have the skills for social support and family housing, fighting unworthy accommodation, and last shanty town, who were demolished at the end of the 20th century. Same situation for the specific problems of building co-ownership, where the position of each owner must be considered. Of course, I have to talk about the operation Euro-Méditerranée, which is on the next page. Euro-Méditerranée is an operation for national interest, help extend the central functions to the north. Started 20 years ago, this operation represents today the symbol of urban recovery, namely of the harbour areas which had been disused. London showed us the example in the 90s. Recess of the metropolitan functions which create work opportunities. It is also a new maritime and cultural front face of Marseille. Here you can see the new museum by the sea, the museum by Emily Ricciotti, and a building by Zaha Hadid, and a few new buildings in the harbour area. But such flagship operation must not hide the work carried out by the council to requalify the large building blocks in the suburban village. Over 14 operations have been subsidized by the National Agency for Urban Renewal for over €1 billion. 3,000 accommodations are demolished and rebuilt, 6,000 flats renovated. We will also mention the various development with the aim to make the land required for the town expansion. Such operations were performed with respect to social diversity. Now, I will show you at the end another flagship operation with the reorganization of the Stade Vélodrome football stadium and its surrounding. It represents a metropolitan attraction and a vehicle for urban proximity. This required a public and private partnership to be set up, which is not very common yet in France, in order to reduce the financial impact of such development. Though the work will be finished next year, and it will welcome the Euro football in the Euro Football Cup in 1916. So thank you.